Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation on informal and personalized learning. This presentation will consider the literature relevant to informal learning and personalized learning environments, and then review iReady, a learning platform recently adopted by a local school district to support personalized learning in regards to reading and mathematics. Saki, Wynn, and Grabel 2015 describe informal learning as an approach to learning that is not typically classroom-based, relatively unstructured, and places control of learning in the hands of the learner. Milligan, Littlejohn, and Majoran 2014 also note that informal learning is often embedded in other non-instructional activities such as work. With the growth of online learning and online learning tools, there's also been a related focus on the creation of personalized learning networks and personalized learning environments. Saki et al. Identified personalized learning networks as an aspect of socialization, allowing workers and learners to connect with others through social media to expand their own understanding of issues relevant to themselves and to the work. Davag and Kitanitz 2011 similarly see personalized learning environments as focused on social media platforms in which learners use Web 2.0 tools to aggregate and share resources, participate in knowledge generation, and manage their meaning making. Zhu, Wang, and Wang similarly assert that personalized learning environments customize to students and adapt to their learning level. This all fits with the description of informal learning established by Milligan et al., including 4 key learning behaviors that knowledge workers use in informal learning. The consumption of knowledge and resources created by others, the creation of new knowledge by authorizing new resources, the connection with people and resources, and contribution of new knowledge within a learning network. Informal learning in general and personalized learning environments specifically are seen to be guided by Zimmerman's 2000 theory of self-regulated learning. Within this model, self-regulation is a skill where students learn how to set goals, what is needed to achieve those goals, and ultimately come to understand how to actually attain those goals. Within this process, there are 3 phases. The first is the forethought and planning phase, then performance, and finally reflection on that performance. With this literature in mind, let's take a look at iReady. iReady is an interactive online learning program that's meant to help students build essential skills in reading and mathematics. It was adopted this year by the Castaic Union School District, our local elementary school district, which is where this little princess here, my daughter Abigail, is currently in kindergarten. So let's take a look. We're going to go to their website and see what their claims are. First, it is immediately clear that iReady claims to be interactive, personalized, and adaptive. Through diagnostics that are completed 3 times a year, students are assessed in the different domains of reading and mathematics as established by the Common Core state standards. Based on these scores, there is a personalized program of lessons that's generated by iReady, which students proceed through at their own pace. Teachers, similarly, are supported in differentiating their instructions according to iReady. Students are placed into small groups based upon their diagnostic scores, and teachers can print mini lessons. Here is some examples of those mini lessons. These mini lessons are supposed to be specifically designed to address areas of growth that are common to the members of the group. Parents, likewise, get a readout a report that's generated to them periodically, and they can log in to see the diagnostic test results and identify areas of growth where they can support their students. So all of this said and done, let's take a look at a quick lesson. This one is for a second grade. You'll notice that there's narration along with highlighting the specific sections that are being talked about. This provides scaffolding for students as they're learning to read. The pacing is intentional, allowing students to have easy access to the material. And then it takes the student into a more specialized, specific instruction on the specific phonics that are being addressed. So if I were to click, I would get a selection. I would get a selection of each one, and it would allow me as a student to expand my learning. Students are guided through these, as we saw, through characters who model instruction and facilitate the learning. At the end of each section, there's a quiz. When the quiz checks for understanding, students are rewarded with coins upon completing the lessons and successfully passing the quizzes, which they can use to access games within the system. If a student fails to make progress in a lesson or repeatedly fails to the quiz at the end, the system freezes their progress and notifies a teacher who can then intervene. So all of this presents a really compelling picture. The question is, how well does this match the personalized learning environment model that we've been reading about? Is it in fact personalized? There's clear evidence that the system creates engagement and facilitates a learning environment that, sorry, I lost my place, facilitates a learning environment that students would enjoy. There's also evidence that the system supports teachers in differentiating instruction and intervening with struggling students. It's also adaptive to student learning and, at least on the surface, provides levels of personalization, such as the background or the toolbar and things like that. On the other hand, there's no creation of new knowledge, there's no collaboration, there's no real evidence of self-regulation being enacted or even taught. And the teacher is in control, has extreme control over the environment. I want to point out, though, that that last point is not necessarily a bad thing. Tomberg, Landperry, Lay, and Normack investigated personalized learning environments and teacher control in 2013 and found that the perceived teacher control over the environment actually increased student perceived ease of use in learning and using the digital tools within the environment. So teacher control is not necessarily a hindrance to the personalized learning environment. But I think we can see in this case, there's aspects of personalization, but it's not really a personalized learning environment. It doesn't really fit the category of informal learning either. So what is the future of informal learning and personalized learning environments, especially within the K-12 system, which is where I work? I would say it's unclear. From my vantage point, it seems like truly personalized learning exists on a continuum. For younger students, platforms like iReady can support, I would argue, a developmentally appropriate personalization, but still maintaining a lot of teacher control that can provide a lot of support. I think it's possible for older students to create more personalization and self-regulation, but I think our readings have also shown us that they need support and tools to be able to achieve that personalization. They need to be taught about self-reflection. They need to be taught about self-control and self-regulation. And they need teachers who have been taught how to create the system that can support self-regulation and have the tools to support students in creating personalized learning. Thank you very much.